We frequently fail to recognize the warning indications that a new love may not last because it is so enticing. These are the warning signs that professionals advise you to avoid. Before moving further, smash the like button. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Number 9. Regular conflicts. Like rain in a storm, arguments arise naturally in partnerships. They can clear the air, provide clarity, and eventually fortify the bond. But when disagreements never seem to go away and turn into a never-ending downpour, it could mean that the relationship's foundations are deteriorating. Disagreements are like sparks that start conversations in the beginning. However, the relationship's terrain may become burned and desolate if those sparks grow into a wildfire that devours every exchange. Frequent arguments about unimportant things can deplete emotional reserves, making partners feel worn out and estranged. Arguments happening often could be a sign of unresolved underlying problems. When arguments go unresolved, they become festering wounds that deplete the life force of the partnership. A loop of defensiveness and blame takes up energy that could be used for learning and shared experiences. Early detection of this pattern allows for correction, rather than continuing the dispute cycle. Think about a solution-focused stance addressing the issue's root. Number 8. You have very little in common. You've met someone who appreciates everything British, including watching the royal family, Pembroke Welsh Corgis, and Bangers and Mash. However, what about the other stuff? According to relationship experts, a couple must share a primary, overall picture of how they want their lives to unfold. This includes their financial, family, and spiritual lifestyle, as well as their worldview. It's a clear indication that this person isn't the one for you if it's clear from the start that you don't share the same values on some of life's fundamental questions. Number 7. Lack of transparency. Even if you've never been transparent, you must be willing to open up and share your truth for the relationship to blossom. It is not promising for the future if you feel uncomfortable sharing who you are with your partner. You must be ready to let down your guard and show vulnerability when entering a relationship. If you can't be genuine with your partner, communicating and sharing love, fears, and hopes with your partner will be even more challenging. Number 6. Unequally yoked. Certain subjects, such as politics, religion, and money, are off limits when conversing with strangers or coworkers. However, all conversations are welcome when evaluating someone for a potential partner. Both parties must be as transparent and honest as possible when stating their expectations and beliefs. A good practice would be to explain what you mean, not just theoretically, but practically as well. Tell them right away if you attend church every Sunday, for instance. He advises explaining to the person you're with what your beliefs mean to you. You should be attentive when they describe their beliefs to you, remembering that you don't necessarily need to have the same beliefs if you are both honest and respectful of the other. Number 5. They refuse to disclose the relationship. Suppose your partner won't disclose your relationship publicly, even after a few months. In that case, you should clarify with them if it is a partnership in which both parties intend to build a future, and if so, they should act accordingly. Your new love interest is being rude if they sidestep the topic or make jokes about it. And it's a sign that they may lack the emotional maturity or capacity to handle a serious relationship. Number 4. Insufficient communication. All relationships require open communication to flow with empathy, understanding, and connection. As the communication diminishes, an invisible barrier gradually envelops partners and may eventually drive a wedge between them. Where the communication stops in a relationship is where the confusion begins. When communication breaks down in a relationship, partners separate themselves and stop expressing their needs and feelings to one another. The stillness weighs heavily, inhibiting development and communication. Consider allocating specific time to engage in candid conversation, attentive listening, and honest emotional expression to revitalize communication. Number 3 is being judgmental. Perhaps they were making a joke. Maybe the garment does make you appear overweight, or perhaps you ought to shed a few pounds. Stop there. A relationship cannot last the test of time if it destroys your self-confidence. To give the impression that no one else will love them as much as they do, one partner may emotionally abuse the other by instilling fear and undermining their self-worth. Be warned. The person experiencing abuse will often feel that there is no one better out there for them, so they can't leave the emotional abuser. Be sure you are aware of these subtle indicators of emotional abuse. Number 2, feeling unsupported. Partners in a healthy relationship are one another's strongest supporters, fervently embracing each other's goals and desires. But if hopes are greeted with contempt or apathy, the partnership may be in jeopardy. When a relationship begins, partners frequently eagerly combine their stories into a common one by sharing their goals, aspirations, and wishes. But eventually, there may be indications of disdain for one another's objectives. Dismissive remarks or a lack of interest in one another's successes can indicate a widening gap. A feeling of alienation might develop when spouses don't support one another when they work for their objectives. Dreams become vulnerable when there is no support, and the emotional bond that formerly sustained the relationship starts to fade. When personal passions are suppressed, the relationship's potential for development is impeded. Identifying this pattern offers a chance for introspection and modification. Participating in each other's successes deepens the relationship, fostering an environment where dreams are nurtured and both partners can thrive alongside one another. Number 1, lack of trust. Any lasting relationship is built on trust, a delicate dance between certainty and vulnerability. The stability of the relationship may deteriorate when fractures appear in this foundation, leaving a path of ambiguity and mistrust in their wake. At first, trust is easy to come by, a river of confidence in one another's motives. However, with time, indications of mistrust may creep in. The once strong bond can be weakened by jealousy, secrecy, and questions about fidelity, which raise suspicions. Partners' relationship becomes unstable when trust is violated. Something transparent and open at one point may become unclear again. To avoid criticism or retaliation, partners may find themselves treading carefully when discussing delicate subjects. Realizing that trust is eroded is a critical turning point for introspection and action. Partners may reestablish trust by encouraging candid communication, transparency, and confronting fears head-on. Once lost, trust can be regained gradually with persistent work and a mutual dedication to comprehension. This is the end of today's video. We hope you enjoyed it. Please respond in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more exciting videos.